Hello everyone, DonTheCrown. It is now, I guess, day 3 of the season here for Torchlight. We just got a big patch here that reduces some of the difficulty of getting into tier 8, and we've gotten our build up to about 6 billion damage. This isn't a build guide, just kind of want to show off a little bit, but I had a lot of people on the last video for the league mechanic asking for more details, and I want to give them to you guys. I want you to understand exactly what's going on. So it'll be a little bit more detailed in this video. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. And let's just go through it. So pretty much the goal of this is to get as many tiles up in level as possible and to just kind of be successful with like playing the mini game. Now there are two types of tiles. There are the diamond tiles, which are events, and there are circle tiles, which are monsters. And if you're confused, you can just click on them and see what the first word is, and it'll always tell you exactly what it is, or the shape also tells you. Now, the goal overall, for me at least, is to get things to level 7. Because once they're at level 7, at tier 7 map level or higher, you're able to actually start getting the support, the support things that everybody are looking for. And so we are going to try to do that. Now, for the orange one, this is tier 8. So defeating monsters in the realm time mark 8 above, get the corresponding paint, has 60% additional drop quantity. And complete level 7 cells within a limited time for a chance to get an exclusive support skill. And the highest tier of exclusive support skill affixes is tier 1 at this point. I think they probably go up to tier 0 at probably the next tier up. But let's get started with the game here. Now, the thing I think a lot of people are misunderstanding is when we start here, it's going to give us one automatically without giving us any choice. I actually really dislike this part. But you have to read this text here. We need to place horizontal paint on a monster cell. So we're looking to place monster cells or circles in these spots here. And so we're going to fill in these spots. Don't really pay attention to what the shape of the thing you're dropping is. That's maybe kind of like a little meta thing that you could worry about. But for the most part, you want to think about the shape of the things you want to put in. And this will always sort so that the units that are, the tiles that are aligned with whatever you need to hand in are always at the top. So here, I know that this is going to add one more level, so let's make this 5. So if we put this 4 here, it's very likely to hit 7. If you put this here, it's going to end up at a 4. Maybe I can possibly get something going on diagonally here, but it's going to be pretty hard to get with that one over, so I'm not really going to worry about that. And then here, this last spot is pretty much going to be dead. So I'm just going to put a level 2 one there. So the next thing here, I can see that the incoming tile is a circle. And so this is a monster tile, but it is looking for diagonal paint on a gameplay cell. So what I'm going to do here is look and see, is there a spot where I can easily put one down where I'm going to get gameplay diagonally. So I only have one gameplay down so far. And if I put this one here, I could get 1, 2. So kind of bad there. But there is a couple of spots I could put this. So I could put this here and get 1, 2, 3. I could put this over here and that wouldn't work either. I could put it here. That wouldn't work. This here, I could go 3 across here. And so I think that either here or here is probably the best. Now I have this one here that is a monster type, and so I probably want to try to keep my horizontal and vertical like all one type. It makes it easier to level them up. So I'm going to put this one up here, or I guess over here. It doesn't really matter either way. Actually, I'm probably going to put it here so we can potentially hit this with something. So I know that this is clear. So I don't need to pick Reimagine, which has a chance to change what the thing is. If I look at this and I'm like, oh, there's no good spot for this to go, I will always pretty much pick Reimagine. The other one, Layer, makes it so that you add additional effects to it, which can make it more powerful as you place it. So you're going to pick this one if you don't think you can place the tile cleanly and hit the requirements. Sometimes these will be 3, sometimes they'll be 4, sometimes these will be 5, sometimes even more. There's ones where it's like for everything on the canvas, and it's going to be like, I think I had an 8 one of those one time. Pretty fun with those though. It buffs everything. And so you pick this Reimagine when you cannot place the tile cleanly, and then you pick Layer when you can place the tile cleanly, And then the last one, which we'll talk about when it pops up, allows us to put things in kind of illegal places. So we're gonna pick layer, adds additional color mixing stuff. And so now it's either going to increase its own level by 1 or additionally increases the level of 2 random paints within the area of effect by 1. And so we are going to pick this one. This gives us 2 upgrades as opposed to just 1. If this was like a level 6 paint, I would potentially pick the own level up, but I tend to always pick the one that's this. Also, this allows us to put this here, which I think can hit our little dwarf friend down here. And so that could potentially be a big boon. Now you can place and you can like move these around and kind of count and stuff. You don't have to like click right away. So I can see here is bad, here would not work, here would work, here would work as well. Pretty much everywhere on this line will work because we have a good line there. That's not going to work. I can't place things in the void right now. I can't, put anything really anywhere else. So I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna hope this dwarf gets hit by the upgrade. And then it did get hit right away. Actually, I think that when you first place it is when it's going to go. So that will always do that way. So now I need to think, where do I want to put this chandelier? If I want to put this here, I can potentially get a vertical thing going on here. That could be okay. This one over here is also pretty good because there's 3 spots. So you can have the tile you're putting in vertical and 2 other ones for 3. But then this spot here is weaker because there's all these blocks. So I'm going to put this one all the way up here in the corner. And then I'm going to put these other 2 like so. And now we have another one. So this is event. As we can see, it's a diamond and it's looking for diagonal monster cells. And so once again, we're going to need to do diagonal potentially. And we could potentially put it on this line here. And so that line would be a monster cell here, monster cell here, monster cell here. It puts a monster cell in our good line. It puts a monster cell here, which is in line with this one here. Then we can put this one here to make it in line with this event one. But the event one actually got lucky and got the plus from that. So we are good to go. Pretty hyped about that. I think we're just going to put it there for sure. So we're going to layer on again. So if we didn't have a spot to put this diagonal one, we would reimagine. Sometimes this will just kind of screw you over and make it like, oh, change what it is or its level. That's not really what I want. I don't really like that one. But this one hopefully gives us some cool stuff. So increases its own level, or increase the level of all paints that have the same contents as the one on the map. So this is the seasonal level 3, and I'm pretty sure this is like Dark Surge. And so this one on the map would get a +1, or do I want to give this one a +1? And I'm going to be greedy and do its own. If I picked all paints, it's only the ones that are on the table right now. So this one would not go to level 4, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'm going to go place this here. And then, like I said, we're going to go put that. Now, I could also potentially put one here and get kind of some action going there, but this kind of limits my ability to interact with this lane, only to basically this spot or this spot, which I don't really want to do just yet. So this is a little bit more out of the way. All right, so now we have another diagonal monster. Are we able to put this here anywhere? I don't believe that we can. So I'm going to do reimagine. So we put this here, for example, we could have 1, 2. We double check, put it here. We have 1, 2. This is not a monster. This is an event. I really wish that this would be a different icon. 1, 2 here. Only a 1 here. 0 here. 1. So we're going to reimagine. And hopefully we're going to get like vertical or horizontal or even adjacent. Any of those would work. Okay, so this one changes its own effect direction to something else. So it can be any of the other options. So any of those win for us. This is good. Randomly changes its own level without changing its contents. This one's bad here because all this does is change the level of this one from like 3, could be 1, could be 6. I think, so I'm just going to do change zone effect direction. I want to see hopefully vertical. So we can put this here. If it's horizontal, we'll put it here. Or maybe even here. Probably here. All right, horizontal. So I want to place this here for monsters. This, once again, we're putting it in line here. We have the event 1 lining up vertically. And then we're going to be able to put a monster 1 here. And this does not interact with this line all that much. So I can leave this for another horizontal in this spot here, or another vertical here to hopefully hit the dwarf up. And so we're going to place this like so. All right, so we have now another diagonal, but we also have spread. So spread is pretty special. It has a whole bunch of different things that you can get with this. It has to do a lot with placing on these like kind of illegal blocks, these blocked ones, or you can even point into the void. And so if you get the void, you can do some really crazy stuff. I've had ones basically where you have had like 4 or 5 in the void, and as long as you're like hitting the lines, it's fine, which is just really a lot of fun. My other favorite one is you can overlap, and you can basically place it on something that's already painted. So I could paint this directly on top of something else. It will like give the bonuses in the directions. So like I could put this diagonal one directly here over this gang guy, and it would, you know, as long as it qualifies, we'd finish it, but then the gang guy would stay there. So let's just see what spread does. So it converts the nearest block cell diagonally to a blank cell. That's not really desirable for us. Can be placed on a void cell, but will be lost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this guy right here. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3. And we'll level these guys up. And we just lose this tile. And that's fine. Like, this doesn't really matter to us because this is basically a free tile. And if we are going to fail anyways, that's kind of bad. So we're going to place this out into the void. So just place it right here. We have 1, 2, 3. This will work. And actually has 4 there. And so this should give levels to all 4 things. I don't think that there's anywhere else that we could really make this work out. I guess we could put this here. This would work 1, 2. But this gives us 4 different ones with levels, which is pretty nice. So you see, it popped it off. And since we met the thing, just go right to the next one. All right, so we have adjacent gameplay. So we could potentially place this here if this one wasn't a block. So we could take the spread here. Vertical gameplay would be good here. I think we can make vertical work here. I think we can make vertical work there. I think we can make, I think that's probably it. So we're going to spread here and hopefully have a way to remove this block. Would be like super great. Sometimes it doesn't happen. So converts one random adjacent block to a blank cell, or I could place it on a blocked cell. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this here like so, and this will turn this cell into a blank, and we'll be able to place like so. And just happy little accidents like that. What's up again? We have a vertical paint on a monster cell. This is what we've been waiting for as well. Now we're going to get this dwarf to level 7. And so we are going to place here or here. So really at this point, and kind of be like, if we want to be greedy to clear out the board more, we can go spread to potentially put this like we wouldn't be able to put this in the void, but we could potentially clear out this block or even this block. If we get diagonal, adjacent, horizontal, if we get vertical, it's kind of a fail. But we could also paint over. And we could like paint over here and then like put one down here or something like that. So there's a lot of interesting things. Whereas this is probably just going to give you like one more level. So I'm going to go spread to try to give us more tiles. So random adjacent, happy little accidents. It's void cell here. Like I said, there's not really a good spot for us to put the void. Like we could put it here, but this would only hit 2. So we're going to do adjacent blocked. Just going to draw it here. And this will level this up, or remove it for us, I mean. So this levels up to 7. And we are going to just put this one here. Now, one thing to note is that there are some tiles, I think this guy actually, some tiles where it's like levels up all of the ones on the map. And so we kind of want to match at this point. So we have one of these guys, we have one of these guys. I'm just like picking whatever here. All right, so we have vertical gameplay. Vertical gameplay is a rip for us, unless we can put it in the void here. Be really, really nice. So we're probably just going to go for that here. Layer wouldn't be really great for us. So yeah, let's try to put it in the void. Oh, can we place in the void? All right, this is a good run. I like this. So it's going to level this up here. And this will be 1, 2, 3. So we're good to go. This is the first try. Like, this is not like us cherry picking a good run, by the way. And so there you go. We have a 6, a 5, and good to go. Now adjacent paint on a monster. And so this one actually would fail. Because if we put it here, there's only, oh, there's 3 monsters, never mind. It would work. So put it right here, and hopefully we can get something with the layer that will push these up to 7. If we be really, really greedy here. So we're going to layer. Just increase the levels of 1 random paint. So hopefully this hits like one of these level 5ers here. Boom. I think it hit the purple one there. Maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, we have a whole bunch of level 6s. And then now we have adjacent paint for monsters. So this one's going to like auto fail, but it's also going to be our last one here. There's nothing else we can really do. Reimagining isn't going to help us. This isn't going to like save the run. Layer is the only thing we're going to do here. This is going to make this a 7. So that's pretty nice. Additionally, increase the level of 1 random paint by 1 of all paints that have the same contents. So we talked about this before. So this would bump any of the ones that are already here of this shape on the board. Unfortunately, there's none. If we had gotten like this guy, that would be really, really good. But we're going to do 1 random. And yeah, hopefully it goes to this guy again. This guy got greedy previously. Hopefully he gets greedy again. And he did. All right, great. So we have 3 reds and 3 level 7s, and it is complete. Now, if at any point there we had gotten unlucky, that was just like truly, truly blessed, there is a button that is right here that you'll be able to see that forces the completion. And what that does the first time you do it is right after you place the paint down, you can be like, hey, I can't finish this one. You can place down some paints if you want, but you press that button, it's going to eat 5 of your colored paper or colored paint, whatever this resource is called, and it will nuke off 1 of your cells off of here. Now, I haven't seen this hit a level 7 one. It might be able to. I have hit level 5s, but it's kind of something you want to use, I think, pretty aggressively, as long as you have like kind of a decent run and kind of like build off of. If you can tell like, oh, there's not really like any good spots, just kind of like blast it and fill it all out and just run it quickly. Better luck next time type of thing. But I tend to not use the second one because it costs twice as much, and I mean twice as much of the paint stuff, and it costs you 2 cells. And so unless I'm really, really, really close to being able to get another 7 or even a couple 7s, I won't hit that second one. And that's pretty much it. So we just try to maximize how many level 7s that we can get, and it is just pretty smooth for that. Let me just take a screenshot of this for the thumbnail, and then we'll hop right in real quick. I want to talk about a couple of things with being actually inside the mechanic. So the pet here does double up some of them, and it makes it free to run. So I got double up on the level 7, which is pretty nice. But when you first pop in, one of the things that was driving me crazy is that I don't know where I am, right? And so what you can do is you can click map. If you click roll, normally it takes you to where you're going. But when you first come in, it doesn't work. But generally, I just go and clear everything. And it might sound a little crazy, but I think just clearing everything is the best. Now I can see where we're at now. So I'm just going to run over here and clear this level 2. But, can potentially get FE from any of these, potentially get basically anything except for the support skills from any of these spots. So it is kind of a good idea to clear these out, especially the low level ones are just pretty quick. Now we just finished this one here and we kind of have to run to the next one. If you just click on this giant teleporter thing that I did not realize was a teleporter, it will just yoink you over there. And yeah, we're just going to go through and clear. I'm sure you guys want to see how we get a awesome Icebound Beam support for the video, right? Because clearly this is a very blessed run. This is actually one of the better ones that I've had so far. I feel like we just basically got everything we wanted, and you just kind of need to think about like what your overall map looks like and like, kind of like what your next moves could be is kind of like what helps me a lot. And really, like, you're only going to get there by playing. Now, when I first was looking at this, I was a little bit scared of like making a mistake or kind of like wasting my materials. But unlike like previous seasons, there's not like really any resource for you to waste all that much besides maybe the paper if you're like really not completing them. But, you know, the paper does come pretty quickly. It's a little bit hard to like maintain 100% uptime on the 8s. But yeah, like you definitely need to complete them anyways to get some of the experience. The other video, ooh, I stood on the laser beam. Okay. Don't stand on the laser beam. All right, so that is a level 7. It's like 4 FE, which not too bad. Also 2 deaths insta. So dead end here. So I'm gonna just teleport back. We'll do the level 3 one real quick. Yeah, I will do a full video guide for this very shortly. Either right after this or after I get some sleep. Another like 22-hour stream here. So we're kind of just pushing really hard. The build is pretty fun. The character is pretty fun. I'm kind of consider re-rolling a little bit because I feel like Selena is a little bit expensive build to play right now, which is maybe a little bit annoying. Now, one thing you might be wondering as you're seeing all of this is, how does your character like auto aim? What's going on with that? We need to go into battle, by the way, and just do auto channel, auto aim. And then when you go into the map, you need to right click so that there's a green swirly around your skill. And that will allow you to auto attack basically. If you don't do that, your character will just shoot forward in a beam, whatever direction you're aiming, which kind of makes the skill feel really bad. Now, if your character suddenly does start auto aiming again or direct aiming, that typically just happens every time you go through a teleporter or something. So all you have to do is just press right click again. Just clearing everything out here. So yeah, this is just like the base tier 8 one, the orange paper. I could probably start pushing up now to the red paper. We did get quite a bit of upgrades today, although it can be a little bit scary. Some of the ones are a little bit hard to complete, the bosses and stuff. So don't be afraid of switching over to like your DPS pets or something, instead of doing like drop pets or something. This season is pretty rough in terms of overall difficulty. And so, yeah. DPS pets are kind of a thing right now. I don't really know how I feel about that. Like, I always kind of like the game where you, like, just run and drop pets felt pretty good. And only really needing the DPS pets for situations where it was not really, you know, damage time, if you would. All right, so we still have one more double level 7. I really haven't gotten very many skills today. I think it's mostly because we ran a ton yesterday and we're kind of like running a lot slower today in the tier 8s. Did like all the tier 8 zeros, all the tier 8 1s to get all of our nexus points, whatever. And then they just handed them out to everybody. So having a great day with that. All right, so we get a nice little double here. And no skill, only 3 FE. And no skill again. And like 11 FE. So not the greatest. A little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. I have sold like over 100 FE skills so far, so that was pretty nice. And I think that was for Howling Gale. I sold one of those. And the one for this skill, I think it's like over 1,000 FE right now. We're going to go in and block it. Oh yeah, you also can see on the map where there's like free extra eggs and chests and stuff. And even like elites from pets or from the passive tree. And so this is extra loot on the tree. I should have counted how much FE we had before. Well, I don't think we had very much because I just, bought this ring that we're using for 1,400 FE. And it pretty much broke the bank. And we did buy one more slate. But yeah, we'll do a video guide for this after this. That's the whole run. Pretty freaking easy. Let's talk real quick about finishing up. So what I'm going to do is click the chest here. This gives you some paper back. This gives you colored snow. This gives you like, the snow is basically your XP and also your like run saving material that helps reset a thing. But yeah. Now, in order to do a run, there was a little bit of confusion about this. You have to go and pick the paper that you want to run, right? And then expand. And then you have to go defeat monsters in the right area in order to get the corresponding paint. You can't just run because you're missing all of the paint that you would need. So you have to go out and kill them. Now, one of the things I've seen people do is that there is, where it is, 10% chance for one additional monster to appear in another realm. You're guaranteed to receive at least one paint of maximum possible drop level upon defeating it. And so what you can do is if you don't, you want to like be like really stingy with your paper, you can wait until you see that monster in your map. It has like a giant like rainbow symbol on the map. You can wait until you see him, and then you can just click on the little brush up here and then activate your snow paper and kill him. And you're going to get your maxed out paint, which is pretty nice. And maybe if you're lucky, you could get another one in a next map. In terms of the passive stuff, I talked about this in the other video. I'm probably going to end up blocking something down here that is like lower price. The cold one, I think, is one you should not block right now because the passives for that are crazy. But I am also not taking these points here that increase the chance for gameplay paints. I think the gameplay paints are harder. There's like survival, which is long. There's like that one that killed me 2 times with the candles, although that was the seasonal one. There is just like more annoying events. Like I don't want to do a level 7 God of War. I don't think you do either. But yeah, hopefully this video helped explain a little bit more. So just remember, you just want to read what it is looking for. Don't pay attention to the shape of the tile that it's asking you to place. Read what it is telling you it's going to be looking for and plan accordingly. If this video helps you out, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe if you like the content, and we'll see you soon.